what you hiding. Morning Brew, we watching. This is Nadia Batson, and you're watching the Morning Brew on CNC3.
The energy that.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. Well, when we talk about soca music and we talk about the big names and those who are shaking the industry up, a lot of times we see the frontline performers. We see the people who are performing on the stage and whining and jamming. But within recent years, probably within the last 5 years, you saw the emergence of the producers, the rhythm, the beats. Those are the people that create the sound that you so enjoy. Writing, composing, producing, the men and women behind the magic. Now, the name Jelani Show is no stranger. In fact, his name has been attached to some of the biggest songs that we know, attached to some of the biggest artists, and he's worked with a number of huge production houses to create the rhythms and the sounds that we enjoy. This year, I think he created, and I would tell him that, I mean, while he's had amazing success with Marshall Montano and other soca artists, he is actually the man, one of the main men creating the magic of Savannah Grass. And I told him during the break that I think Savannah Grass is one of those songs that will stand the test of time. Jelani, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Trinidad Tobago, for tuning in.
Now, first of all, you are so young. I mean, when you walked in, I thought, okay, don't I feel old? Yeah. Or either really underachieving this morning?
No chance. My sobriquet is Pops. Everyone knows me as Pops. A stage name. Anyone in the industry, they say, well, who's this guy? And they know me as Pops. So,
how long have you been writing?
Writing, I would say 2019 now, maybe 11 years.
How did you first start? Did you always know I am going to be the man creating the words of these magical productions?
When I was 14, on my 14th birthday, I woke up and I was like, Dad, I really want a drum machine, because I saw this interview on CBS with Pharrell Williams, and I was like, I like that guy. And I felt like maybe I can do that one day, produce records. And beyond that, I watched Tom and Jerry as a child, and the music composed was by Quincy Jones. And I would draw and paint all the time, and I loved the typography. And I did all the research, and I found out he did all of Michael Jackson's work, and Miles Davis and Count Basie, and I just immersed myself in the music business. And my dad is Terrence Shaw. He's a prolific guitarist, and my mother is Barbara Critchlow Shaw, and she's the first female executive of Trinidad. So there's no way.
So you have music and culture in your blood. There was no way you were not going to be in this industry.
There's no way I couldn't, end up in the same chair right here today.
This year, let's talk about the story of Savannah Grass.
Sure.
You know, when people talk about successful hits, and you have had a number of hits.
Yeah.
But Savannah Grass is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily the hook, whine, jam, jump.
Yeah.
How did you start this?
I think for each year, I try to focus in on themes. And this year, 2019, I made a conscious decision to make records that took a very large mirror and shine it on the Caribbean region. So I did 4 records this year. I did Comfort for Marshall Montano. I did Zigzag for Lyrical. I did Take a Walk for Alison Hines. And I did Savannah Grass for Kes. And each of these records all have this big mirror placed above it to say, Caribbean people, look at yourselves. Love yourselves. Let's really start to embrace ourselves and share love and share true understanding of our cultures and true understanding of our history, things that have happened, and let's embrace that. And at the same time, let's really get together and join in the carnival, most importantly in Trinidad.
How long did it take you to write the song?
Well, Kes was there from day one. He called me. He was like, Pops, what are you doing? I was like, making some records. He's like, you hungry? I said, yeah. So he said, well, I'll come in with some food. And he's a food man. So he come across and we live and talking. And for about an hour, played maybe 2 records. And the 3rd was the music for Savannah Grass. And he was like, but what's that? Because he stopped eating. We stopped eating when I played. And he's like, what's that? And we sat for maybe 15 minutes and ran out the complete melody. And I thought that was since December 4th of 2017. And then an entire year after we fed, I saw his brother Hans and I was like, listen to this demo. And Hans was like, I love that. Let's work on that. And then I had to wait until Kes could come back from flying. And then we did maybe 2 or 3 different recordings of the perfect lead vocal. So, I mean, all in all, let's just say right, one night, an hour and a half.
Where do you get your inspiration? I mean, what does Savannah mean to you?
Everything. My father, and my father's family is from Argyle Street. Kes's dad is from Belmont. So they're from that area. I went to school in Rosary Boys and Fatima College and UE. So I'm very, did a degree in theater arts. So I'm very immersed in culture and I really understand the history behind it and all that has happened on the stage. So it means everything to Kes and myself.
The rhythm and the music, because you're the producer and the writer.
Yeah.
So you have double credits on this song.
Yeah.
How much pressure did you, first of all, did you imagine that the song was going to be as big as it was? And so many people, from the pan side to the pianist to the violinist, everybody's doing a cover of this song.
I mean, it's beautiful. No idea. I had no clue. I had no clue it'd be this way. I always knew I loved it from the minute I made the music. I was in the shower and I heard the melody. And I heard the melody and I thought, that's something Taylor Swift could sing. And I told myself, well, who has a big voice here? And I was like, who I can reach to? And so I thought, whoever comes knocking. Whoever comes knocking, and Kes came knocking.
So it was just fate that he came in at that time?
Yeah.
It wasn't like you went out and searched.
I didn't call out. I don't ever do that. I don't ever reach out and be like, I have a record for you, because half of the time artists, they don't really see the vision.
Right.
And as a producer, that's my job. I'm supposed to have the vision from beginning to end. So if I call in and I say, this is a good record for you, and you don't see it, then that's cool. But if fate is correct then and everything lines up right, when I call you into the studio and we sit down and I play these records for you, and it moves you in a particular way, then it's meant for you.
You know, the role of the producer, in the US we hear producers are a big thing.
Yeah.
In fact, producers are as big as the front line.
Just as big here, yeah.
And do you find that changing in Trinidad and Tobago now? Because we now know the creators of the beats and all of these people.
Yeah, I think people really get caught up in the beat.
Yeah.
I think it's more about who's really directing the show. I think we have a lot of really super high power producers here. Pelham Goddard, Art Decoto, whose name I've embodied in my social media. My social media is Pop Art Show, Pop Art Show everywhere. And Art Decoto is one of the greatest composers in my understanding.
The sound itself of Savannah Grass, you hear a lot of, in my mind it reminded me of the Carnival that I knew growing up. Was that deliberate on your part?
That was on purpose.
Did you feel that a lot of that was lost, and are you surprised that the younger generation has embraced it so much? I
think based on my knowledge, based on my education, I've always wanted to include every part of Carnival that I know. The music that you hear, and there is the first sample goes kick it boom, something I was singing a while ago, and I sampled that and pitched that in. And then there's a Hindi hook, and there's that swing that Rashoti I created in the late 70s that is within this music, that is soca music. And his granddaughter is carrying that on right now, but it's all purposeful. We can't make all the EDM styles and all the high-powered tempo stuff and then leave out the core. I'm about the core music.
The core music. Now, this seems to also be a favorite. I mean, Exodus went to court to choose this song.
Yeah, that is worth it.
Have you heard them play it?
I have not. I haven't been to rehearsal yet, but we're setting up to go sometime this weekend. Well, not this weekend. That'll be tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, so definitely gonna check it out. The fact that the pan movement is taking on, and I mean, the junior calypso competition and junior panorama competition. Are you surprised that they're taking it on?
I'm really thrilled, because it's something that I've dreamt of giving to my mother. I made 3 promises to her years ago, a long time ago, and I said, I'm going to get you a road march, a soca march, and a panorama. The first year I came out, I did ministry, a road march in Montana. So, and I gave her 2. So now I have 1 more. So I'm hoping that this year we can get that trilogy.
Well, you and Exodus are hoping that you make that 3.
Yes.
Now, is it, as such a young man, in the industry, I mean, when you walk to that, honestly, your name is a lot bigger than your stature. When that grounding in yourself and that confidence to put yourself, I mean, you're dealing with a lot of huge personalities. How difficult is that to say, this is my vision for this?
I don't feel any particular way about it because when they walk into the room, they're like, oh, they're flesh and blood, just like me. When I met Marshall for the first time, I was writing the verse for Ministry Road. And he walked in the studio, he's like, oh, okay, you're writing. And he gave me a bounce and he went into the next room. He gave me that space to continue doing what I do best. And I give him the space as well. And it's a great sense of perfection when you know that you can walk into a room with a superstar and feel absolutely comfortable and absolutely with calm within yourself.
What is the next chapter for you? You know, you spoke about the 3 promises.
Yeah.
What is in store for Jelani in 2020?
Oh, so much. I have so much in store. My main goals would be Billboard Awards, Grammy Awards, hopefully one, you know, God willing, the Oscars. I really have large dreams for myself with regard to music, with regard to soca music, with regard to how we are seen on a global scheme, with regard to our art and everything that we have done for, over all these years as a nation.
What do you think has been your most prideful moment so far?
I think,
it could be personally, professionally, that one moment since taking this path.
Wow. First year coming out, Ministry Road, Roadman, Soca Monarch, Soul Train Award, Grammy nomination. And I was still in school, I was in UE. I'd graduated that year, later in October. So everything happened for me in 2014. And that record came out of a pure fight. It was, the meaning of Ministry Road is really about Dr. Kubla Singh's plight. That is what the song is really about. I just masked the lyrical content in such a way, like true calypso, to be able to be a sword and a shield for masqueraders who have had that congestion on Charlotte Street by the hospital there.
The social causes, and you know, if you know the genesis of calypso, it is the voice of the people.
Yes.
You know, when we have the conversation, and I know that you have a number of artists, they talk globally, you see the Caribbean diaspora. Do you think there's going to be, we have been nominated and we have had some of the artists put in these categories, but they lump it in reggae. Does soca have a definitive sound? Does it have a definitive space on the world space?
Yeah, soca has evolved so much since its beginning. I believe that now, yes, we're pulling the records in reggae, but that's only because there isn't currently a drop-down option for us to choose calypso or for us to choose soca. And for the only way we'll be able to get there, based on the boards that we've had deep, serious conversations on this about, is that we need to get the numbers up. So we need to get our streaming numbers up. We need to get our sales numbers up on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, whichever platform you use. And as a nation and as a Caribbean region, as a member of the Caribbean region, we need to stay away from the YouTube ripping and the town and the guys who selling the CD in town. That's not helping anyone. It's not helping us get those numbers up. So when we turn on the TV and we see they idolizing Bob Marley and they're making all these other great icons stand, where's Sparrow, where's Kitchener? We have our rights, but it's just a matter in the grand scheme of the business, we need to get our numbers up. And pooling our records in reggae at this point in time is the best option to get that.
What do you think? You know, you obviously take a lot of inspiration from a lot of places, including your family background. What is a timeless song in your mind?
Wow, that's a hard one. But Lullaby, Billy Joel. That's a big one. God, a timeless song. It's Carnival, written by Colonel Roberts.
And if you had to choose someone locally, what would you say? I mean, you're very young in the industry, still having so much.
Or right now, someone is bubbling right now?
Even before, like anyone, past, present, anyone.
Favorite calypso?
Or timeless calypso that you think?
Well, I'd say, oh my God, maybe Mara Jean by Sparrow, produced by Adekoto. That was, like, in terms of melody, there's so much that's going on in there that blew my mind as a young man. when I heard it, and I still to this day I listen to it and I'm like, how?
Do you ever get a writer's block?
I had writer's block right after Ministry of Road blew up because I was so young and I didn't understand well what to do. And the same friend who got me on this who got me on this program this morning, Tina Clark, she invited me to go to St. Lucia for a couple of days for a fashion show and so on. And I was like, okay, great, let me just get out. And I left for a couple of days and I went and I wrote Great Parade, which is Marshall Montano featuring Patrice Roberts. I did nothing for 2 days, and then on the last day, before the flight to come back home, I picked up my keyboard because I had it in my bag, and I used her laptop with GarageBand, and I literally made the entire song in that one night. The entire song, Great Parade. And that song is just a love letter to this nation based on what I see mass being, what it was and what it could be, and all the great possibilities.
What do you want to say to Trinidad and Tobago about Jelani show, Pops?
I'm here for a really long time because I'm here to really give my all. This is my life. I'm dedicating my life to music. I'm dedicating it to soca music in particular. I want to get our sound to each corner of the globe. Is something that Marshall has preached. When I saw Kes last night, his show was magnificent. Marshall's show on Monday was magnificent. I am so proud of each of them for putting so much attention and so much detail into their work, and it shows, and people respect it, and we're receiving the best possible products of 2019. I've been to many music festivals around the world, and I think that if people don't invest in terms of, if you don't go to these shows, you're not going to see it. So I went to Marshall's and Kes show this week so far, and they were 10 out of 10. We're really on the right level now. We're not playing games.
Well, Jelani, congratulations. And I am sure that we will continue to see a lot more from you.
I mean, I'll be doing it as long as I have breath.
I do hope that you're able to fulfill that promise to your mother this year. You promised her a road march, Soca Monarch, and a panorama. So this year, will it be the year that you go back and say, Mom, I did it?
All three.
And you'll have all three. We take a short break again. Thank you. We take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more for you. Stay with us. This is The Morning Brew.
We open the story. It's Savannah Grass. Everybody rebel.